Welcome to Nasa Tasha. This video is for you if you get fascinated by the year-spanning stories that take us to various times in history and let us experience significant moments, discover other civilizations, and look into the histories of extraordinary people that impacted our past. From epic wars to power struggles, these 10 films offer a distinctive combination of entertainment while bringing history to life on the big screen. Additionally, in order to present you with movies that you might not have watched before, we won't be featuring classics like Braveheart and more. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Centurion. It is a 2010 historical action film, directed by Neil Marshall. The story is set around the Roman Empire's conquest of Britain, and centers on an army of Roman troops who, after being completely annihilated by a Pictish attack, must battle for their survival as tribal groups begin to hunt them. The Ninth Army is the narrative's primary focus, as they strive to free a Roman soldier, Quintus Dius, from his Pict oppressors. The narrative progresses as Quintus and the soldiers travel with General Derylus's infamous Ninth Legion, carrying out instructions to exterminate the Picts and kill the leader of the group. However, an unexpected betrayal forces the Roman troops to get away, while the native tribesmen start destroying them one by one. The film's best elements are its brutal and dramatic action sequences, as well as Michael Fassbender and Olga Kurylenko's strong performances. Nevertheless, the plot feels less story-driven and more action-oriented, which detracts from the film's high-stakes situations and makes it rather predictable. All things considered, Centurion is a fun movie that gives an aggressive portrayal of historical battles, and it can be worthwhile to watch if you enjoy battle action. Number 9. Macbeth. It is a 2015 epic historical drama film, directed by Justin Kurzel. The film is based on William Shakespeare's classic play, and follows the story of Macbeth, who hears a prediction from a group of witches that he will ultimately become Lord of Scotland. Eager and driven by desire, Macbeth assassinates his king, and acquires the throne for himself. However, the feeling of guilt consumes him, as he starts to daydream and sees strange otherworldly things. The film depicts the play in a visually impressive and powerful manner, and what I find most appealing is how the film's use of decorated representations and slow motion drastically increases the film's effect and gives it a distinct aesthetic touch. Despite successfully recreating the main ideas of Shakespeare's play, the film does not meet the standards set by the play. Overall, it's a powerfully passionate version with outstanding acting that provides a new and realistic interpretation of the classic drama. If you have never heard about Shakespeare play before, you might like it more because it will undoubtedly seem more unfamiliar to you. Number 8. The New World. It is a historical romantic drama film, directed by Terrence Malick. The movie narrates the history of the English colony in Jamestown, Virginia, and explores the bond of affection between a woman named Pocahontas and Commander John Smith. Pocahontas is the leader's daughter, and the one who saved John Smith from dying when he was taken by local warriors. Pocahontas and Smith quickly fall in love, but much to the displeasure of the local groups, Smith gets kicked out and presumed dead. However, a horrified Pocahontas who marries another man gets shocked when Smith shows up alive, while she has to choose between the two men. In general, as viewers, we want a strong story, stunning cinematography, and exciting action from a good historical film. And this one delivers on the first two, but the action is quite short because the primary subject matter is love. The film is slow-moving, but it features amazing visuals and an engaging storyline that presents a distinctive and artistic take on Jamestown history. This movie can be worth adding to your next historical movie watch list if you're looking for a philosophical look at the relationships between people and history. Number 7. The Northman. It is a 2022 epic historical action film, directed by Robert Eggers. This film falls into the category where you will either love it immensely or dislike it completely. The plot takes place in the 10th century and centers on a Viking prince who wants payback for the killing of his father. As he travels to reclaim his realm, he goes on a violent mission when he discovers the enemy's whereabouts. But when he starts to exact his vengeance by slaughtering each enemy man, he is forced to confront an awful revelation that presents a difficult choice. So, who killed his father and why should be the question on your mind, and that is the dramatic element that surfaces steadily. Additionally, there is a narrative involving witches and magic, which is incredibly fantastic. The movie features a solid cast, presents an engaging revenge-driven story centered around the Viking era, and is breathtakingly beautiful. The battle sequences are fierce, and the way this film is shot is outstanding. Despite its few weaker parts, the plot keeps an air of surprise and comes up on the enjoyable side, owing to its roaring score and precise performances. Number 6. Black 47. It is a 2018 period drama film directed by Lance Daly. The narrative takes place during the Great Famine in Ireland and is about an Irish soldier who comes home after war and finds his family gone and his nation decimated by famine, a hunger crisis. As you would have guessed, he seeks retribution and sets off on a quest to face down those in charge of causing his nation's hardship. The Great Famine, which occurred in Ireland between 1845 and 1852, was caused by hunger and sickness. The narrative explores issues like injustice, courage, and the fight for existence, while attempting to offer a compelling representation of the Great Famine's catastrophic impact. While the film does throw a spotlight on an important moment in history, it struggles to give an in-depth overview of the details of the Great Famine, despite its realistic and harsh portrayal of the time. Overall, it is a captivating movie that highlights an unhappy chapter in Irish history, and it is a great pick for fans who like knowing about historical events. Number 5. The Sisters Brothers. It is a 2018 historical Western film, directed by Jacques Audiard. While the film does not have a usual historical backdrop of old kingdoms or battle circumstances, it is set in the 1850s and has a pretty wonderful story. The film chronicles the search for Herman Kermit Worm, a gold prospector, by two infamous killer brothers named Eli and Charlie Sisters. However, their journey soon takes a surprise turn when Herman makes a greater offer, and Eli starts to question the long-term sustainability of his current assignment. The narrative strikes an interesting balance between action-packed scenes and character-centered moments, all while mixing dark humor and charming characters. The film offers an enjoyable viewing experience overall, and it is recommended for fans of Western movies. Number 4. The Age of Shadows. It is a 2016 South Korean period action thriller film, directed by Kim Ji-woon. The movie is set in the 1920s during Japan's colonization of Korea and centers on an intense battle between Japanese operatives and a squad of rebels led by Kim Woo-jin, who are attempting to attack crucial Japanese sites in Seoul. In the midst of all of this, Lee Yoon-chul, a Korean-born Japanese policeman who once took part in the fight for independence, finds himself torn between the needs of his life and the urge to contribute to those in need. But when Lee Yoon-chul meets Kim Woo-jin, everything becomes complex, while Yoon Chi-san, the head of the brilliant unit, seeks to stop Lee. The story explores the moral difficulties that the characters must deal with and the decisions they have to make in their struggle against control. It boasts a stylish backdrop, a complicated plot, and plenty of surprise twists along the way. The plot is challenging, and it takes a little additional focus to understand all that happens in the film. The first half is confusing as excitement develops, but the final sections have a visual drive to them, and the train sequence is a highlight. Overall, this spy thriller is well written, has a bold narrative told against a context of a volatile historical moment, and strikes a good balance of drama and action. Number 3. The Last Samurai. Directed by Edward Zwick. Even with a loyal following, the film is still relatively unknown, so if you haven't seen it yet, this is the perfect opportunity. The narrative centers on Army officer Nathan Algren, who encounters samurai society in Japan during the period known as the Meiji Restoration. The King of Japan recruits him to guide the nation's first force in contemporary combat, but when the government makes an effort to exterminate the traditional samurai military group, Algren is caught in the middle of a conflict between two cultures and two periods. The film features breathtaking fighting scenes and examines the conflicts that arise between modernization and tradition and culture. Also, it's great to watch Tom in a historical drama. The film offers a more profound knowledge of the samurai's customs and faith through its dignified and detailed depiction of them and their way of life. With the exception of a few minor character development issues, the story offers an engaging and provocative cinematic experience as it tackles topics of culture and personal growth. While it may not be totally true to history, it is an insightful and fascinating watch. Number 2. Mongol. It is a 2007 epic historical film, directed by Sergei Bodrov. The film is a fictional portrayal of Genghis